Just shifting it over.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry about that delay. In opening this meeting of the Swan Valley Statutory Planning Committee, I'd like to acknowledge that the meeting is being live streamed, and I welcome everyone that is logged on to the meeting today. The meeting is being recorded and will be available for viewing via the Commission's website or YouTube. I wish to advise observers that committee members may refer to technical devices such as phones and laptops throughout the meeting to assist them in considering the information for them. In opening the meeting, I also acknowledge that we meet today on the traditional land Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation and pay our respect to elders past and present. We have no apologies today. All committee members are attending in person. Are there any applications for leave of absence, please? Item 1.3, disclosures of interest. Are there any disclosures of interest, please? No, thank you very much. Item 1.4, declaration of due consideration. Could all members indicate that they have read the agenda? Thank you. And item 1.4.1, questions from members and responses from DPLH staff. There were questions from Commissioner Cole. Are you satisfied with those responses, Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Thank you. Item 1.5, confirmation of the minutes of the meeting of the 30th of October 2024. Do I have a move and a second that we adopt those minutes, please? Moved by Councillor Zanino, seconded by Commissioner Brooks. No dissent. Thank you very much. Deputations and presentations. Item 2, there are 2 written deputations. 2.1 is a written deputation from Hardeep Singh, the owner of lot 26 Caversham Avenue, Caversham, with respect to the development application for the telecommunications infrastructure on lot 27. It's item 3.1 on the agenda, and it is a written submission in support of the recommendation for refusal. Item 2.2 is also a written deputation on the same matter from Alan Mays, and again it is a written deputation in support of the recommendation for refusal. There are no other deputations. We move to item 3 and item 3.1, the development application for telecommunications infrastructure on lot 27, number 96 Caversham Avenue, Caversham, and it's with us for determination. Now, we have received a request from the landowners or the proponents that this particular matter be deferred and removed from the agenda. As the agenda had already been published, I made the decision that it would stay on the agenda, but we do have an alternate recommendation as a result of that request, and I will ask Mr. Szabo to speak to that recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, look, there's been a little bit of history in this one. We did meet with the applicants originally and identified a couple of the issues that we were concerned with, particularly the fact that they hadn't been aware, as were council at the time when they provided their response, that there was an approved dwelling on the lot next door that was going to be in fair proximity to the tower. In speaking to the applicant and about that issue, we suggested that they provide further information about their process of looking to find sites, which they did. We also asked them if there was the potential of finding another site, which they didn't, and advised us they would want to go forward with this site as it is. Since then, obviously, they've seen the recommendation, and they've asked for further time to look at some further liaison with the department about some ways that they may be able to ameliorate some of our concerns. We have talked previously about relocating the infrastructure to another part of the lot. That was dismissed by the landowner at the time, but there may be some opportunity for them to go back and further with that landowner. Or possibly they're just looking at landscaping or somewhere else on the lot to reduce some of the impact. But at this stage, they've asked for it to be deferred so that they can further liaise with us towards an alternate recommendation if possible.
Thank you very much. Is there any discussion, please? Nino?
Just a question. The question, just to get it clarified in my mind,
So the request to defer was by the landowner, not the applicant.
No, through you, Chair. Sorry, it was by the applicant.
By the applicant.
Yes.
Who is the landowner?
No,
No.
sorry, the
No,
applicant.
the applicant would be the telco.
Okay, right.
So it's the telco that actually the applicant that wants it deferred.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for that clarification. Commissioner Cole.
Well, thank you, Chair. Thank you very much, Mark, for the latest information in terms of the applicant's wishes. I think that would be a good approach, given that there is a service issue in Caversham. When I read this report, my sense was if it's not going to be here, then where, that there does need to be a solution found. So if there can be further work to refine the application or to look at different locations again, I think that would be a good outcome. Sorry, that was actually a statement rather than a question.
Thank you. Thank you, Member Hurt.
For my position, I would suggest not this site at all, because it could be seen from everywhere. There's no vegetation around there. Will certainly have negative impacts to surrounding areas. I think an alternate site, and there's some government land nearby that could be considered. I think that would be the way to go.
Thank you. Mr. Zaba can take that on board. Member Rex, thank you.
Just a question. Did you say that the the proponents wants a deferral just to do work on this site, or look for an alternate site?
They haven't said that specifically. They've said to further liaise with the department, and also they've said or to look at ways that they may be able to ameliorate the issues on the site.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Councillor Zanino.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. My comments are that I agree with the original recommendation, which was the refusal, because under no circumstances, the way I see it, does it comply with the Planning Act or the objectives of the priority agricultural zone. Where it is very prominent, and it stands out like it doesn't matter where you are, it just hits you. And I don't think it's an appropriate location. There are better locations that could be considered, and I think that what we need to be doing is refusing this application to send them a clear message, no, this particular site is off the books, but we're happy to consider any other location in close proximity, which is better in the sense that it's not so prominent and it can be screened. So I think that, the original recommendation, which was for refusal, should be put.
Thank you very much. The original recommendation is still the recommendation in the report. The alternate recommendation is for our consideration.
Right.
So
I'm happy to put the recommendation as it is.
Thank you.
Also just foreshadowed that I'll be happy to move the deferral.
So thank you. So Councillor Zanino has moved the original recommendation. Is there a seconder, please? Thank you. Member Hurt. Is there any further discussion on the original recommendation? And there's a foreshadowed motion to move the alternate recommendation. So there's no further discussion. I will put that original recommendation. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. That's 3-4 those against. Thank you. That is lost. Could I have a mover for the alternate recommendation, please? Thank you, Commissioner Cole. Do I have a seconder? Commissioner Brooks, is there any discussion on the alternate recommendation?
Just to state that I support the deferral for the reasons outlined by Mark in terms of looking at alternative locations or alternative siting on the existing location.
Leaves it open to be an alternate site or somewhere on the site. Thank you, Member Hurt.
I would consider an alternate site, knowing that there's government land around the place, close in proximity. I do not support the site that is on at the location it is now.
Accept that. The alternate recommendation has been moved. Is there any further discussion on the alternate recommendation? I'll put the alternate recommendation. Could all those in favour please show? Those against? Thank you. Noted. Would you like that recorded?
Yes, please.
So the alternate recommendation is adopted. Thank you very much. We move to, thank you, Mark. Item 2, section 31, reconsideration of conditions for an ancillary dwelling at lot 96, number 36, Dalgety Road, Middle Swan, by Ryan and Matthew. Is there anything else you? Thank you very much. I'll open it up for discussion. Are there any questions, please, of Ryan? No. Do I have a move and a second?
Move the recommendation.
Moved by Councillor Zanino. Do I have a seconder, please? Seconded by Commissioner Cole. Any further discussion? If not, is there any dissent to that recommendation? No, that's passed. Thank you. We now move to, well, thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Matthew. We move to item 4, confidential items for discussion, decision or noting. And the Swan Valley Statutory Planning Committee now move behind closed doors. Consider those items. Do I have a move and a seconder that we move behind closed doors, please? Moved by